England have won a test match in Australia for the first time in 15 years. Yes, England have won the fourth test in the 25-26 Ashes at the MCG, the Boxing Day test in front of 100,000 people. And the brilliant Bazballers. The brilliant Bazballers are on the board, lads. We're on the board. We've got one. We've got one. Yes, fine, it's still 3-1, and no, there is no mathematical chance of us going on and winning the Ashes, but at least we've got a 1 next to our name rather than a 0. It was Sydney 2011 that England last won a test match in Australia. 14 years ago. Well, the best part, 15 years ago. 18 test matches England had played in Australia in between that last victory, and we'd lost 16 of them. And it was about 5,500 days between Sydney to this game in Melbourne. And that's ridiculous. How on earth does that record get that big? But anyway, we've done it now. And if that doesn't sound like a moral victory, I don't know what is really. When you think about it, the test series is done. The Ashes are over. They're going to stay in Australia for another couple of years. And you get the biggest sporting event on the Australian calendar in a test match that doesn't really matter, and we break a 5,000-day curse to win a test match. Look, sign me up for the morals. Sign me up for the morals. But this, I still don't know if I feel good about it or not. I don't think I do. I know I don't. I'm not bothered about it. At the end of the day, it's too little too late, isn't it? We've got some things to talk about. We want to talk about the pitch. We want to talk about Josh Tongue. We want to talk about the fact that this test match has lasted so little time. And we want to talk about a few of the batting innings. But it happened so quickly that trying to kind of pull this apart is quite tough. But I'm going to talk about the pitch first. I'm going to talk about the curator. And I'm going to talk about the fact that Alistair Cook said 10 millimetres of grass every other sentence that he was on commentary for TNT Sports over the course of this 2-day test match. But yeah, it's a drop-in pitch at the MCG. We know that. We know how they work, or a drop-in square. This one, the curator, not the groundsman, the curator, because you need that extra little bit of mayo on top of the job title there. Head of operations for grass seeding or some absolute nonsense like that. Basically left 10 mil on there. And it did plenty. It did plenty. And everybody around the world is calling this, I think Grade Cricketer have called it a shit tip of a pitch. And isn't it amazing how quickly things change from a 2-day test in Perth, which was like emerald green, to going, well, England just batted badly, to Australia losing a 2-day test match and all of a sudden the pitch is a shit tip. Let's have some consistency here, folks. I'm not talking about a particularly Australian podcast, but across everybody, let's just have some consistency here. I wonder, I wonder whether we need to start thinking about making sure that test match pitches are limited to the amount of live grass that is actually left on there. Now, this isn't because England had our pants pulled down in Perth. This is because the modern day batter, it's hard, isn't it? When you go out there and you try and score runs and be aggressive and get bat on ball and get on with it, it's hard to stay in there when the ball's doing a bit. So I wonder whether in an attempt to try and make sure some of these test matches last slightly longer than what this one has done, I wonder whether we need to start mandating the fact that they can only have, say, 6 mil on there and make them a bit flatter. And yes, it becomes a bowler's graveyard, but does the bowler need more skill? Because I'm pretty sure Mitchell Starc would still take wickets on a 6 mil pitch, and as would Pat Cummins and Josh Hazlewood. Because nobody wants to watch a 2-day test. The absolute positive is the fact that I won't be awake until 1:30 this morning. And that is a real bonus in everybody's life, including my own and everybody else's that's associated with me, and anybody that would have watched the live stream during the course of that 4th test. That can only be a good thing. But it isn't good for cricket. This test match, the entire test match at Melbourne, lasted less than 150 overs. That's all that they could manage. And England was 6 down at the end of their innings as well. It wasn't like they cruised that run chase to go and chase whatever. What were they chasing? 170 odd down. It wasn't a cruise. It was still fairly kind of edgy as to where they needed to be. it's not good. It's not good. This test series as well has been, I think I read it's like the third shortest test series in history that have been a minimum of 4 tests so far, with the amount of overs that have been bowled. I think I saw it to be about 5,500 deliveries that have been bowled during the course of this test series, which is mad. Genuinely mad, isn't it? I think the pitches should be flatter. I think they should be flatter. I don't necessarily think I'm making excuses for people there. I suppose you probably am. And I'm sure some old boy from Yorkshire is, well, if you can't bat on this, you can't bat on anything. Like, it's true, but we need bums on seats. We need the TV. We need people watching it. We need people talking about it. We need people scoring hundreds. It needs to be longer than 2 days. Because, quite frankly, this pitch was an absolute shit tip, wasn't it? What it highlights, I think this and Perth highlights what we knew about both of these batting lineups, is the fact that they both have an ability to be quite frail. The Australia batters, they faced 479 balls across the course of their 2 innings. And Perth was similar on that first day. They're not brilliant batting lineups at the moment, either of these two teams. Josh Tongue, he finishes with match figures of 7 for 99. No, 89. 7 for 89, Josh Tongue finishes. And where does that put him, actually, with regards to the actual statistics? Let me have a quick look, because he's got to be up there now, isn't he? What's he got? He's played 2 tests. Scott Boland's got 16 poles. Josh Tongue has 12. Josh Tongue has 12 wickets in 2 test matches at an average of 18.5, which is second only to, well, Michael Neeser's got a fractionally better one and Mitchell Stark's got a better one as well. But I said before the series started that Josh Tongue felt like he had the ingredients to be a real handful over in Australia. And you've got to wonder why really he wasn't given a go earlier on in this test tour. Feel like he would have done a brilliant job at Perth in particular. Not that that would have made England bat any better, but yeah, to bring him in for the 3rd test match feels a little bit too late. But look, he's done brilliantly. He's been a real kind of bright spark for this England team to take away from this Ashes series, which has been pretty dire really for the most part of it. 3 batting innings to talk about. Harry Brook, that absolutely insane moment when England were 8 for 3 and he runs at Mitchell Stark and just misses everything, much to the dismay of Jonathan Agnew on BBC Test Match Special, because Harry Brook hadn't been listening to his advice. Phenomenal. But he top scored. He did score a 41 and he didn't make it look easy. He certainly made it look different to what the others had done. And that's the way he's going to play. It's the way he's going to play. It's the way we're going to have to just absorb the fact that that's how he exists. Jacob Bethel in the 2nd innings. Ollie Pope got dropped. Jacob Bethel came in. So now obviously we know that Jacob Bethel is in fact the saviour of this England test team, because he can go and score 40 at Melbourne, which was tough for everybody, to be fair. But yeah, he scored 40, he got it done. He will get that test in Sydney. I don't know if he's the answer for England's red ball cricket. He isn't going to play much first-class cricket in his career with the demand of his kind of white ball prowess around the world. I believe he's still on the books for RCB, so he'll be going straight to the IPL, T20 World Cup, and then just kind of moonlight in and out of test matches as and when England need him to, which is exciting for him. But I don't think we're ever going to see him go and slog it out and dig in for Warwickshire on a cold Tuesday against Worcestershire in the Championship at Edgbaston. I just don't think that's going to happen. And then Travis Head as well. He scored 40 or 46 it was before he got out to an absolute doom seed that he just walked off laughing at. It was that much of a delivery, just walked off laughing at it. Was it that much of a delivery? I don't know. I mean, it nipped off the surface, which made it unplayable. It hit the top of off stump whilst it was probably pitching on leg. So yes, it did do a lot, but it did enough. Did enough for Travis Head, didn't it? And then Bryden Cast continues to take wickets. Look, people have been really critical about Bryden Cast with how he's bowled during the course of this. And there has been a lot of incidents, front foot nobles, spells that just haven't worked. But he's taken 19 wickets at an average of 25.5. I mean, that's pretty good. Like, if you said to somebody before the series started that Bryden Cast is going to have 19 wickets at an average of 25.5 after 4 test matches in the Ashes, you'd say, yeah, thanks very much, that sounds great. You'd have taken that every day of the week. You just would have done. But apparently it hasn't been good enough for Bryden Cast. But anyway, there's my kind of ramblings and mutterings about the 4th test match. I hope you enjoyed it. or what part of it you got to see anyway. I suspect a lot of you probably just watched the 8-minute highlights on YouTube. Yeah, power rankings will be coming soon, and so will a test team of the year. And I will see you live for the 5th test.